I'm about to explode. Speeding down a warpath. Self-defense, call that barrel my proxy. Goldilocks distance, how can I miss? With a crack shot aim and verbal game like this. Tell the masses all to be home. And get another fighter on the phone. All the ones they sent so far, they couldn't stop me. All the ones they sent so far, didn't get so far. You wanna start it up without a way to win. I've been double or nothing, but I'm not gambling. You're trying to cage me up, but I got out again. You better cover your eyes, it's about to get. It's about to get. It's time to get. Everybody get. It's time to let the mud fly, put it identified. It's time to get. Statement is certified. It's time to get. Cover your eyes, yeah, it's time to get. I'm about to go raw. Swimming in a shark tank, missing every turn and still breaking in my wheelhouse. Bait 'em all, hook 'em all, sink 'em and run through 'em like it's the Olympics of life. And the road to gold is brick by brick, and only the bold, even broken and sick, are showing up to cause another episode. You're in the presence of a monster. Baseball. You wanna start it up without a way to win. I've been double or nothing, but I'm not gambling. You're trying to kick me up, but I got out again. You better cover your eyes. It's about to get.
What is up, and welcome to another episode of Who Gave the Drummer a Mic, episode 7. Nate is muted, but we got Mr. Nate Atkins from the band Divided, Virginia local favorite. We have Mr. John Halligan. From the band Kings of Karma and Epizon. I believe I pronounced that right.
Yes,
and
sir.
of course, my co-host, Michael Russo. Yes, I know the announcement said we will have Mr. Robert Rivera from Nonpoint, as you heard in the introduction. He is running a little bit late, so he will pop in when he gets home real quick. But otherwise than that, how are we doing, gentlemen? How's your weekend?
Good, thanks. You guys hear me?
Yeah, perfect.
We hear you. Yeah, we hear you.
Definitely glad to get that fixed during the intro.
Perfect timing.
Perfect timing.
Great.
So I'm going to start off the hour real quick, or 2 hours, however long we feel like running this bitch. But give a little bit of a sad news. Mr. Chris Morley has decided to step down. He will no longer be a co-host. He has life. His band Cold Kingdom is getting very busy, very active. So make sure to hop over to Cold Kingdom, check them out, like, subscribe, find their videos, find out if they're coming to a city near you. So they're in the studio currently at the moment. So obviously life happens. He will always be welcomed here. So, hey, you know, he's a drummer. We're going to have on as a guest sometime as well. So he'll pop in from time to time, you know, say what's up if he's got the moment. So, but welcome, gentlemen. This is Who Gave the Drummer a Mic.
Episode 7, baby.
We'll start with Mr. Nate Atkins. Gear.
Give us a rundown. Give us
what this is all about. Tell us about the band. Tell us about what you use and all that stuff.
So, a little bit about the band. I guess you could kind of consider us to be metalcore / deathcore. We're based out of Chesapeake, Virginia. We've been a band now for a little bit over a year. I have 2 of my former band members from another band called Unbound, my bass player and my guitarist. And Unbound broke up, and they came and started Divided with myself, and then my roommate, Matthew Gum, he's my other guitarist. And then our vocalist, Richard Hoffman, is from Virginia Beach. And we've been trying to get out there as much as we can. Obviously, it's a little difficult recently with COVID and everything like that, because we started pretty much getting together and writing material and, you know, doing this, that, and the other. And then, boom, COVID hit. And it's like, well, shit, now we can't, you know, get out and really play shows. So we've been kind of focusing on other things, getting our merchandise and everything up. We've been trying to record, which we're in the process of finishing recording as we speak. Nice. And Yeah, that's pretty much it as far as the band goes.
You guys recording with
we have-
anybody, or you guys doing it all by yourself, or?
So I record with a friend of mine, Charlie Roccaforte.
Okay.
He owns Rock at the Beach Studios in Virginia Beach.
Nice.
And I've recorded with him previously before in 2 other bands. One of them was the band that I was in him with called Scars Within, kind of styled more or less like Iron Maiden.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's good stuff, man. And he's a hell of a guitarist, man. Really, really good guitar player. Great dude. And I like the way that he goes about recording. I like the way that it sounds and the way that it comes out. And not to mention it's local. And I try to support as many local people as I can. So that works out really well for us.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as gear and everything goes, currently I have a Yamaha Stage Custom. I have 3 mounted toms. I have an 8, a 10, and a 12-inch mounted. I have a 14 and a 16 floor. I have all AX series Sabian cymbals. I have heavy hats, so I have metal hats, or at least at the time that I bought them, they were called metal hats, for like a metal, I guess you could say more of a thrashy sound. I have a 20-inch dark crash. I have a 20-inch metal crash, and then I have an 18-inch medium crash, all by Sabian AX. I have a 24-inch metal ride, and then I have a believe it's a 21 or a 22-inch China. As far as heads go, I use all Aquarian Performance 2s on my top heads. I use
First Aquarian guy on the show.
Yep.
I absolutely love Aquarian, man. I've been using Aquarian on my toms pretty much since I've been playing.
John Lee.
Yeah, I love them.
Yeah.
I have Evans G2 low resonance on the bottom heads, and then my snare, I have a 1.5-inch thick Pearl Piccolo. It's 14-inch, and I use a coated 1-inch or a coated 1-ply on the top, and then a Evans G2 on the bottom. As far as hardware goes, I use all Pearl hardware. I had a Pearl export kit as my first kit, and I had a lot of hardware left over, so I just used that. That way I didn't have to go out and spend, a small fortune on hardware. Yeah, we know how that goes.
All about trying to save money on the gear, man. Being a drummer is expensive.
It sure is. I just recently bought a new double bass pedal.
Yes.
Yeah.
What'd you get?
Fuck my life. That shit was expensive.
9,000.
So,
They're 9,000, aren't they?
Actually, it is. So I honestly couldn't tell you the name of it. It is the DW.
Awesome.
But it's the one step above the 9,000. It's like a brand new pedal they just came out with. It's all direct drive. Super. Yeah. Super custom. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. As a matter of fact, I will take you on a
go
small
ahead.
field trip real quick.
Take
I
us on a
actually have my
trip.
kit set up. And yeah, so I bought this pedal off of a whim, and
Bruce,
I was like, you know what? I really, really like it. But
they're smooth. Actually, I would say while you're taking a trip, just went to a show of theirs last week. They ended up actually getting added onto a show like literally 15 minutes before the show was supposed to start. They were like, "Hey, we need a closer." And granted, right down from the venue, they live like not even 5 minutes from the venue. So they were like, "Yeah, sure." Everybody's like getting off work, about ready to get home. They're like, "Shit, in the car we go. Here we go."
Check it out, man. But
it's good. That's good that you can do that. Oh yeah. Yep.
These are probably some of the smoothest pedals I think I've ever used in my life. And I used to be real big in Axis, and I had a double bass kit, like 2 bass drums, and I had Axis longboards, and in comparison to those, I think those are smoother, to be honest with you. And the beaters, I feel I get more power out of them.
Are they felt beaters, or is that plastic on top?
There's plastic where the stick meets the beater, and then there's felt on top of the plastic. But the unique thing about those beaters is when you're using them, the beaters pivot, so they move. They can tilt back and forth. So no matter what you're doing and how you have your bass drum angled, because a lot of people will put the pegs up and it'll tilt the bass drum slightly, right? So these beaters, when you hit it, you'll always get a flat hit every time you hit it because it automatically will adjust. So it's unique, it's cool, but they also have individual like 1 ounce weights that you can put on the ends of the beaters to give you a little bit of a harder, more powerful hit. And I really like them. The pedals themselves are extremely adjustable. And it's super, super easy. And the cool thing about it, unlike Axis, is I've noticed that when you use them and you adjust them, they mark on the pedals the factory settings of them. So if I adjust my pedals, which I have, like height-wise or spring tension or anything like that, I can always go back and reference the pedal because it's literally etched like right there on the side where the adjustment is. And it'll say factory, or I have like a line that's longer, and that's your factory setting. But super dope, man. And those pedals, not cheap. I was like, fuck.
Well, hold on. I'm gonna look on Sweetwater right now. I want to see. I'm curious. I've actually never went. I need to go pedal shopping, and I have 9,000s right now, but I kind of want to try something new, and I want to look up how much those are.
They're like $1,000.
Yeah, I think ship from Z Sounds was right around 1,200.
Damn.
Yeah.
So the DW MDD machine direct drive double bass drum pedal.
That's it.
Oh yeah, this is 1,070
Holy shit.
for the double pedal.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I
Well,
never like to deter anybody away from getting into music and becoming a drummer or whatnot. But run, bitch, run.
Yeah.
No, I mean it's a.
If you don't have a bank account, don't become a drummer.
Right.
And you don't want to be
we
the
have too
first
much
guy
shit.
in, last guy
Or
out.
get a job now.
Yeah.
The single pedal is $500. So
Yep. Yeah, they're
man. DW, man, they can charge that. Everybody knows DW. Everybody knows DW is
Definitely one of the powerhouse companies when it comes to the drum world. Drum
absolutely.
gear, pedals, hardware, you name it. Freaking DW stands behind their product also. I mean, a lot of the drum companies do. I mean, I'm like D-Drum, but I use all DW hardware. I just find they're better reinforced as far as than some other companies. But and then you have Pearl. We can go Joey Jordison, big Pearl user. Look at the size of that kit. Look at the size of the rack. We know Mr. Morgan Rose is back on Pearl now also. So freaking look at his kit. Look at his gear. It definitely one of the better companies, I should say, out there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I use a mix of DW and Pearl hardware right now. So
Gotcha.
I'm working to fully make that switch to all DW hardware because the single stands just unmatched. Like they're just the best, man.
Yeah. But yeah, man, that's pretty much a rundown of the kit. I've had that one now for I'd say about 5 years, maybe 6. I think I got it right around 2015-ish. I had a Pacific drum kit before that had 2 bass drums, 3 mounted and 1 floor. And I just got tired of lugging the shit around because it was, having 2 bass drums like that takes up a lot of space. I don't have a trailer or anything. So, yeah, I just be like, yeah, fuck this. I'm going back down to 1.
I had that you remember when Pacific PDP made the signature drum set for the Rev, that white double bass kit?
think I do.
That was my first like real kit. Was that double bass drum kit?
Yeah.
At first, I was like, hell yeah, like I'm gonna play this shit everywhere I go. And then
Right.
I found out real quick that there's no room for any of that.
And you got 15 minutes.
Yeah, there's no room for any of that. You gotta break down and set up, like that. And I'm like, yeah, nah, I think I'm gonna bust up the bass drum, the rack tom, the floor, and we'll keep it like that.
Yeah, man. Once upon a time when I had my original kit, I did have a rack system. I had the Pearl rack system, the I guess you could say rectangular tubed rack.
Yeah, the square one.
That's the Icon rack.
Yeah, I really wish I still had that. Unfortunately, somebody stole my first drum kit. So, dang.
What?
Yeah. Coming home from a gig, I was like, I think I was 16 or 17 years old, and coming home, car broke down, had to get it towed to the mechanic shop, had all my equipment in the back, and my mom and dad at the time, they only had cars. They didn't have a sport utility. So I, was telling my dad, I was like, hey, I've got to go back and get all my equipment out of my truck. And they were like, all right, well, they're closed now, so we'll have to do it in the morning. Went back the next morning. It was gone.
Oh, I hate hearing those stories, man. I know a lot of people that have gotten gear stolen out of the trailer, out of the car. Like, I hate hearing those stories, man. People are so shitty. People are so shitty.
Sucks. But, yeah.
I remember one time I played a gig down here in Charleston at the Music Forum, and the people at the venue told me I could park my car in this spot behind the venue.
Mm-hmm.
And we got done playing, and I loaded my car up, and I parked it in this spot, and I left. And I was watching the show. And I don't know what made me think about going to check my car, but I was like, I'm going to go check on my car real quick. Because, I knew the area back there was, like, private property, but they told me it was cool, so I left it, and I just parked there. But something made me go, like, you know what, go check on your car. So I went, and all my drums are in there. And I go out the back, and I'm walking down, and I see the lady about to hook my car to the tow truck. And I was like, whoa. I said, whoa. Hold on a second. I said, you're not about to take my car. I will move right now. She's like, you can't dress at the right time. And I was like, yeah, no, I got too much stuff in here. Like, and plus, when you get towed downtown, like, you got to call the cops, and you got to, like, go through all that shit. Just
right.
To know where your car's at. I had all my stuff in there, man. I was like, nah. I walked out at the right time. I almost cried.
You got lucky. Yeah,
do
man.
you guys actually leave your gear in the car? Like, or do you wait till the end of the night?
For this time in particular, we were the opening band, so we packed up. And I just put I thought I was good, but I usually will leave my drums like in the spot where we loaded in at if I can. But if I have to take them out, I'll leave them in my car to the end of the night.
Yeah.
I've never had to do anything like that before. Luckily, I've never gotten any of my stuff stolen out of or tried to break into or anything like that.
Right. I'm kind of hit or miss on it. Depends on where we're playing at, but most of the time I'll leave it in my vehicle until we get ready to set up and ready to play. And then every once in a blue moon, if the venue's big enough, I will load everything into the venue and just, set it off to the side in a corner or whatever.
Gotcha.
But it just depends. Like some venues around here are kind of hit or miss. Like there have been a couple of spots that we played before that they don't have the space, man. You get 4 or 5 bands in there, if that, and there's everybody shits everywhere, and it's just too much shit. I'm more paranoid about somebody grabbing one of my things when it's sitting in the venue than when it's sitting in my truck. So,
yeah.
What's going on, Rob? How you doing,
What's
man?
up? What's going on?
Rob,
How you doing? Sorry,
What's up, buddy?
What's up, man?
I apologize for being late. So
You good?
No, all good, man.
sorry. I'm trying to see. I'm on my phone, trying to see it. I'm trying to make this. Do you guys see me? Okay, all good.
Yeah, we see you good.
Yeah,
good?
yeah,
All right.
you're
All
good.
right.
You're
All right,
good.
cool.
Sound good.
Awesome.
Excellent. Moving on, Mr. John Halligan. What do we run with?
So I run with a custom SJC kit that I had made about 4 years ago. I went to the factory just to look around, and I was so impressed. I ended up giving them my credit card that day and bought a kit and had them build it for me in like 7 weeks.
They're like, just take all my money.
No, and he was like, "Are you sure? Like, that's not why I had you come up." And I'm like, "It feels right. Let's just do it." Because I had previously bought a custom kit, and that went south real fast. I lost like $4,000. Just a bad deal. Company got changed hands, and the money disappeared. And I tried for like a year and a half to chase it down, and it was just frustrated. So I tried the process again, and these guys were great. So yeah, so I play a 20 by 20 bass drum. Shallow tom, so I play 8 by 10 and 7.5 by 12. I have a 6 by 14 snare from them, and then 14, 16 tom, 16, 18 tom. I run all Sabian cymbals. I swap it up a lot. I go through probably 8 cymbals a year. I just hit real hard, and I end up breaking shit a lot. So Guitar Center factory warranty comes in great. I get 2 cymbals for the price of like 1.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I mean, like it's like I end up having to tell the customer service people how to do their job because I'm like, no, just do this, send me this. I do this all the time. I'll help you out. You help me out, get me through the process. And I run Tama. I run Tama long pedals. I tried them out at a buddy of mine's studio we do other recording with, and I liked them, so I tried them. And then I use an A-head split seat throne for my butt. It helps a lot, so I can sit up straighter.
It's
other than that,
the head seat.
I play Vader.
Spinal Glide. Is that what it is?
I use the Cobra pedal.
No, the seat. You said it was the head seat.
Oh, it's an A-head. It's the only seat they make that's a saddle that's got the middle cut out of it.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah, I got the same one. I got the red one.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah, no, I love it.
Matches my kit.
Yep, that's what I got. Yep. I had to get one. Everybody said it was the best throne. They said you should always vest. You know, if there's anything you invest, it's that throne. Got to take care
4
of
pedals
that.
for $1,000, right? Right, Nate?
Fuck my life, man. Yeah, I'm gonna hydraulic pork pie.
Yeah, but other than that, I use Mapex hardware only because it was the only company that had black hardware at the time that was decent quality. And I didn't want to have everything powder coated and painted and spend another $1,000 on that. So I just bought all black Mapex hardware. It's held up okay. I think I got 3 years out of the first set before they kind of started loosening up and needed spare parts. I probably gig like 20 times a year, 30 times a year. So that's not bad, taking them down and picking them up and doing all that. So I can't complain.
Nice. And anything coming up? Talk to us about your bands.
So Epizon is my new band. I was in a former band for about 6 years that we played a bunch of shows with Mr. Robb, local up in Connecticut and Providence. Did pretty well. We had a falling out just before COVID, so the singer and I left and started a new band. And so we're playing Middle of the Mountains down in August, down in your way, down in the Virginia area. So that's going to be a great show. And then we've got some local stuff up here that we're playing. I think I've got 3 shows booked before that just for warm-ups. Things are just starting to open up here, so hopefully the gigs will start pouring in. I've gotten some booking requests.
Yeah. I hope everything goes, as planned, man. I really do. I hope everything opens up. Everybody can get back to normal. Everybody can get back to playing regularly, man. Hope for the best, man. It's been a long time coming. We need some damn live music.
Yeah.
Yeah. You ain't wrong on that one.
Yeah.
Now, Mr. Robb Rivera, how we doing, buddy?
All right. How you doing? How you doing? Miss you too, brother. Miss you too, man. It's been a bit. It's been a little bit.
So, if some of you don't know, I know a lot of you that are tuning in know that Mr. Robb Rivera plays for the band Nonpoint. Definitely, great friend of mine. I've been with them from 15 to 19. Definitely miss all the guys or whatnot. Tell us about your kit, or I should say kits.
Oh, well, I mean, over the years I've played. Can you guys hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Over the years, I've played different drum sets. When I first started, I was playing on a Premier kit, and I didn't really know, what I wanted. Before we got signed, I was on a Pearl Export, which was like just the cheapest thing you could find at a Guitar Center, So
they hold up nice though, man.
Yeah, they did well, and then from there, I went to Premiere. My manager at the time got a really nice contact at Premiere, but I just didn't like the sound. I wasn't a fan. And I have played over the years. I have played Orange County, Tama, Sonar, and Pearl, and D-Drum. Like I've played all those, and DW. I've played all the kits. I've played them live. Every single one of those kits, I've played them live at some point with Nonpoint.
Yeah.
But right now, my go-to has been a Red Ruby Crystal Beat Pearl acrylic, which is my favorite absolute drum set that I've ever had. It's weird because I also own a DW acrylic that I bought at a pawn shop. And remember that, Adam? I bought at a pawn shop.
Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
Sioux Falls, South Dakota. I walked into this pawn shop and just bored, day off. Walked in and there it was, $1,500 with all the stands. That the kit alone is $1,500.
Wow. Wasn't this story? If you want to talk about a steal, this was a steal.
All the stands, all the hardware, cases for everything.
What?
So it had a 9,000 pedal, or either 5,000 pedal, had the DW 5,000 pedal, DW 5,000 hi hat. All the good. It was all high quality stands at $1,500. So I walk in, I look, and I'm looking at the kit. This girl comes over to me that works there. Hey, we're willing to go down the price on that kit. Like immediately, that's the first thing she said to me. And I'm like, okay, cool, really, that's fucking cool. And then she was saying like 1,000. Because they had that kit there for 6 or 7 months, like nobody had bought it. So they paid $900 for that kit. So I'm thinking at myself, I said, man, that is a really nice fucking drum set. I think, what was I playing there? Was I playing the D drum at that time?
Yeah,
you
were.
Yes, because I remember that tour.
We had the D drum kit out on that one.
Yeah, I had that silver one. So so I'm like, okay. So I called my wife. I said, hey, you have to run all the financials with the wife, hey, there's this kid here. And she said, do you need it? Says, I don't really need it, but it's just too good of a steal, man. Like you cannot. So I thought about it. I walked around town for a little bit. I went back because I went back to the bus and I told everybody, hey, there's this awesome pawn shop. They got ESP guitars. They had a lot of like good stuff that you never see. A lot of good shit that you never see at a fucking pawn shop, man. It's like, and so I go back, and then the owner comes up to me. Are you interested in that kit? I say, yeah, I think so. And then the girl that was there, she was no longer there. She had gone home for the day. So she goes, yeah, there was a guy in here that was looking at it. He didn't know that I was the guy. Looking at it. So I like, hold on, he doesn't know. I can hustle this fucking dude. So I went back to the bus. I got $700 cash and I threw it on the thing. Here, I'll buy that kit right now. He sold it to me for $700.
Wow.
So I got it down.
Awesome.
I got it down from $1,500 to $700, and I used it the very next day. At Sturgis, at the Sturgis show. But right now, and that is one of my favorite sounding kits. I also have I actually still have that purple D drum that I still have that kit too. It was one of only 100 made. I have number 40 something. Nice. And but right now my go-to has been the Crystal Beat Red Ruby, all pearl hardware. I use the Eliminator pedals and the Eliminator hi-hat. I just added an 18. So nice. I just finally, so I have a 14, 16, and an 18. And they call that the guys call it the Doom toms, because all you hear is doom every time I hit it. That 18, I haven't used the 18 live, but it sounds vicious. And I use Evans heads. I'm endorsed by Evans heads. I use Sabian cymbals and Vader sticks. And I've been with Vader for a good 20 years. I've been with Vader and Sabian for my entire career.
You mispronounced tree trunks.
What?
You mispronounced tree trunks.
they're called a nightstick, Vader nightstick, and they're one size down from a marching band stick.
Jesus.
And these things are hard. And then I use the grip tape on it. And yeah, man, that kit has just been Adam has set up that kit, man. He set up pretty much a lot of my kits. I had a Pearl reference for a while, which I sold, and I
was just about to ask that. Do you still have that red Pearl kit?
No, I don't anymore. The one kit that I do regret selling, I used to have a Sonar Delight. That thing sounded. I was sponsored with Sonar for 10 years. They gave me 5 drum sets, and it was like I had to start selling. I just didn't have space for this shit anymore. Yeah. I had way too much. Way too many drum sets, and I mean, not that that's a problem. It's easier to have a lot of guitars. It's not easy to have a lot of drum sets.
That's why I've been selling kits, man. And I only got 2 right now. So. Yeah,
so right now I own 3. I may get 1 more if I can find something really cool from Pearl, but it's just the acrylic just looks so good live. It looks awesome under the lights. You know, I get so many compliments, and it's just sound. And I don't use an acrylic snare. I have 2 Pearl reference snares. They're like 40 ply, and these things are stupid heavy, and those sound
damn
great.
Good.
Yeah, but the acrylic snares, I have one, and I just don't like the sound of the acrylic snare. But what I'm thinking about doing, if I ever use that DW again, I'm gonna take the acrylic snare and turn it into a timbale. I'll take the head off the bottom and use it as a timbale. But and I have a couple of percussion things. I have cowbells and blocks that I haven't really installed in the kit yet. But yeah, man, that Pearl has been great. I've got a bunch of new hardware. Like I need any more hardware, but I got a bunch of. That's the one thing.
Yeah, we won't go there.
That's the one thing I have a lot of is fucking hardware. It's
He's not lying.
Way too much. I've actually given hardware away to my guitar player Rashid. I've given stuff away because I have just too much stuff.
Yeah.
But I've donated all of it to Uptown Studios. We took all their old hardware, we tossed it. Say here, I gave them 8 stands. So that way when I go to the thing is I give Uptown stuff, so when I go there, I don't have to bring anything. Yeah, there's already all I have to do is bring the sticks. So they have cymbals, they have stands, they have 2 of my pedals. There,
I would say you had 4 or 5 pairs of pedals, all the same.
I had 2. I have 4 double pedal eliminators. So I have the 2 new ones with me. The 2 old ones are at Uptown, so I don't have to bring anything when I record. I actually used they have an awesome Ludwig kit there that used to belong to the drummer in Local H, and that kit sounds it's had the same kick drum head for about maybe 15 years, and that thing sounds brutal. I mean, it sounds insane. It's got it all padded nicely on the inside. I said, dude, we don't have to do not change this kick head because I'm the kind of guy like I have the kick head on my Pearl. It's been on there for 2 years now.
Yeah,
I don't change it because they settle in so nicely.
Yeah,
obviously the snare, the toms, you have to change all that. But the kick drum head, it's settled. I have the double ply Evans. Forgot what is it that I use?
EQ3. EQ3.
It's an Evans head, right? It's got
the ring eliminator.
It's got the foam.
The EMAD. The EMAD.
Yeah, the EMAD.
I take the foam out. That thing sucks. I don't like.
I use the thin ring.
I use that, and I used. I'm using now the black chrome Evans heads, and it looks great on the red kit. I mean, it looks and it sounds. I used that on we did a live stream last year. We played our first record from front to back. Statement, and I used those heads, and it sounded amazing. It's like, and here's the funny thing is, I put them on, I tighten it, and I didn't even tune it. I hit it, and then Rob, my engineer, Rucha, he walks out of the fucking control room and says, "What the fuck was that?" He said, "That thing sounds insane. You haven't even tuned that fucking thing." And it sounded like. It was amazing. I recommend that head to anyone. Yeah. It's just like the best drum head that I've used. But as far as snare, I use the Genera dries. It has like the little holes around it.
Pinholes.
Yeah, I use those. Those things sound really good. I've tried a bunch of. I used to play Remo, but it's just for some reason the Remo and the Pearl does not go hand in. There's certain kits. Like when I played my Sonar, I had to use Remo heads. They sounded the best. With the Pearl, it's the Evans heads that sound the best. You know, there's like, I don't know if it's something with the wood or something with the acrylic. It's like a weird marriage of stuff.
All that stuff comes into play, man. I'm a really big nerd about it. That kind of stuff. It's like, like the rim, the wood, you know, how you tune, how you like to tune, all that type of stuff comes into play. Like I have so my two kids I recently got a Pearl Session Studio Select, and that kit sounds amazing with the frosted EC2s, and the EC1s on the bottom. And then I have a Tama Star Classic Virtue Banger kit that I'm putting back together.
Those kits are nice.
Dude, I love it. I love it, dude. It has 3 racks, 2 floors, and a kick. And I have Remo Emperors on the tops, on the bottoms, the Ambassadors. Yeah. And that's like the combo for that kit with the die-cast hoops. Yeah. You know, the sizes, all that type of stuff. And like the way I like the tune, like that. I've tried other heads for that kit. That's the combo, man. Like every kit has its combo.
Yeah, you know what? And I played so many different kits, and all those kits were great. Yeah. Every single the only one that I really did not enjoy was the Premier. But when I had my Orange County, that thing sounded great. But
those drums are underrated, man. My dad had a kit, an Orange County kit, and I loved it.
Yeah, what I liked the best about them was always their snares. Their snares, the one that I have one at the studio. It's got the big 4 holes around it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I remember I bought that. It was like I think it was a Travis Barker snare. Yeah. And because I think he plays Orange County still. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So,
but you know what? I love DWs. I mean, I love Yamaha kits. I've played Yamaha kits. I played Shannon Larkin's Yamaha kit at we played a show after Shiprocked, and I didn't have a kit, and he lives in Fort Myers, so he let me borrow one of his kits. It was a 24-inch kick, which I'm not a fan of. I do not like, and the thing is, I didn't realize that silver D drum, Adam, was 24-inch, right?
Yeah.
So I remember I had to really loosen that head for it to have any action. I couldn't tight. It sounded terrible when I was tightening it up. Yeah. So, but his kit sounded great. He brought me this purple Yamaha Stage Custom or whatever it was. Ooh, that thing sounded unbelievable, man. It was a really good kit. Yeah, so I was really fortunate that he let me use a drum set. It's good to have some friends, you know.
Well, not to mention when we were on that first Hell Yeah run, there was a venue that we played, and the stage was not deep enough, like literally not deep enough to fit like any other local acts or even like direct supports or whatnot. So Rob actually had to use Roy Mayorga's kit.
Oh my God.
And it was hilarious because Roy sits his throne like Mike Portnoy. So he's almost standing. And Rob goes up there. He was like, how the hell do you play almost standing up?
And I actually used that kit like 3 or 4 times on that tour. And then the second tour that we did, that show was in Denver, by the way.
Yep.
At the Summit Music Hall. And I remember sitting on that kit. And I went to the bus. I said, I don't care if there's no stage space. I'm never using that fucking kit again. You know, but the thing is that thing, and I used that. The only thing that I changed was I used my snare. But I used everything else. And he has this China. He's got it like flat like that.
Yeah, back on the right.
And I'm like, where do you hit this thing? Because I hit mine on the bottom, you know, and mine sits flat. His is like this, like Mike Borden from Faith No More.
Yeah.
And it's like and I could. That's the other thing that I could. But his bell ride, man, that thing was beastly. That thing sounded good. And excuse me.
Yeah, he plays 24-inch ride, but the bell alone sits almost like 3 inches off the cymbal.
The thing is like that, like this huge ass bell. I think it's called a power bell or something.
Yeah, I just bought that about a month ago. It's awesome.
And it's basically like a Vinnie Paul style
Yeah.
Which I'm thinking about getting that because as far as my cymbal, I didn't say that. I have a Peisty Rude that I've had since 1991.
Yeah.
And I bought that thing for $80 when I lived in Boston from this dude who just ate, and I've had that ride, and every kit that I've owned, it's got the loudest bell.
Yeah.
That I have not. My band will let me retire it. Like if I lose that thing ever, I'm gonna be heartbroken.
Yeah.
And and when we do fly dates, I don't bring it with me. I will not bring it anymore. And you're not allowed to clean it.
It is the only symbol out of his collection that you do not touch with a rag.
You're not. There was one guy that cleaned it, and I sat on the kit, and it was shiny as fuck. And I'm like, what the fuck happened here? But
did you just clean my symbol?
Yeah, and my fault was that I didn't tell him to not clean it.
Yeah.
But I always tell everybody, do not clean this symbol because there's a certain sound. That dirt, everything on there, the spit, something, all that shit plays a factor on how good that fucking thing sounds.
Yep.
And I've never and I've had that thing since, like I said, 1991. So like 30 fucking years I've had that fucking symbol, and I'll never.
Not to mention your hi-hats you had for the longest time. He finally, I think
cracked
it was
him.
2018. I think it might have been on the POD tour. He actually finally cracked his hi-hats. And the hi-hats was the same as the ride. You couldn't wash them, didn't clean them, nothing. The hi-hats that he had at the time and his ride were the only two that you did not touch. And POD tour, I'm like, Rob, I brought it to him. I was like, Rob, you cracked your hi-hats. And he was like, no.
Also, I added a remote hi-hat recently on my right side. So now I have two. Oh, Sean Reiner just said something, said, yeah, that symbol's amazing. He's not kidding. That symbol's amazing. So I added a remote hat because I was watching a Tool video, just Danny Carey, and he plays this thing right here.
Centered.
So, yeah, because he has all the electronics. And I was going to try to do it there. I said, well, that's pretty cool. So what I did is now I have two hi-hats, one over here, one over here. Am I going to be able to do it? I don't know, because I'm having the troubles when I play this hi-hat. The next pedal is a remote hi-hat, and I think it's the kick drum pedal. So I have three pedals over here that I have to learn. I'll have to learn how to maneuver all these pedals now. So, but I have time. I have time to fucking figure all that out. But that remote hi-hat, so I have the same hi-hats now, Adam, on this side. The ones that I cracked, but I got another pair. Then I have a brighter sounding hi-hats on my left.
Yep.
So I'm gonna try to, when we're writing this new music that we've been writing, I'm trying different things. Maybe like, when there's a verse, I'll do on the bright. When it gets a little heavier, I'll come to the heavy one.
Yeah.
So kind of add like a little dynamic to the songs, and it felt comfortable playing over here. I said, wow, I really like this here. Like, I've been a denier of the remote hi-hat for the longest time, but I'm digging it. I think I'm going to continue to use it for sure.
Yeah, the drummer from Three Year Hollow, actually, his main hi-hat is actually the remote hi-hat, because he literally has it up almost right above his 10-inch tom. So he doesn't play it direct left like a lot of other drummers do. It actually sits almost like Nick Menza. Nick Menza on the Rust in Peace album, if you ever watch Hangar 18's video, his hi-hat actually sits in between two toms. If you ever watch the video very closely, and it's actually a remote hi-hat he plays on in between the two toms, right above the snare drum.
I got to get you back to Illinois so we can have like a couple of days and sit down, and because you're good at MacGyver and all that shit.
I think it's tougher for guys. I think it's tougher for guys like Rob and I who hit real hard to do that center hi-hat. I think that's more of a finesse guy's game. Because it's hard to get that power and have your hands right on top of each other.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird that you say you go through 8 cymbals a year. I go through maybe one.
Yeah.
Like nobody believes me. I said, how do you not? And the thing is, I tell everybody a lot of these guys hit like straight on. I do this.
Swipe, man.
I do.
Yeah, you're a swiper.
I do the swiper, and that's why it's lasted. The only cymbals that I actually break are the Chinas and the main right. Because when I do the chorus, the chorus belongs to this cymbal right here all the time. So when you want to bring everything up, you hit that. So that's where
not to mention it. That main crash is a 21-inch heavy, so it'll last a while. I was like, he's prone to breaking that 16 before that 20. 22.
Well, I don't have a 16, so I have 18, 19s, and 20s and 21s.
Yeah,
21.
I like no, not 21. I don't have a 21. I have a 20. Sorry. I actually Sabian. I don't think they make 19s anymore. That's
I think so. Yeah, because I know there was some that you were sending away. You were trying to get reordered and they didn't have the sizes anymore.
Yeah, so 20,
19 and 20 are the only sizes crash that I'll ever play.
The 20s are my friend. So
yeah.
And
now, what are you using for a China, Rob?
Huh?
What are you using for a China?
I was using an AAX Sabian AAX Rock China. Now I have that 19 Extreme Chinese.
Oh, okay.
And that thing is really clean. And Sabian changed their logo.
Yeah, it's weird to look at now.
I didn't even realize
it's weird.
Yeah, it's like cursive writing, right, or something like that.
Yeah, I have that exact same China.
I'm Sabian. I like the old logo.
Yep.
I remember when they went live with that new logo, and like everybody was pissed. Everybody was so mad. Everyone was like, "Why would you do that? Why would you?"
Creatures of habit.
But hey, man, as long as they have been really good to me. All my endorsers have been great to me. I have nothing to complain about. So it's all good. I'm putting lotion on my hands because people keep looking at me like this. So.
Put the lotion on the hand.
On the skin.
I have those nasty drummer hands. Cuts, bruises, dryness, and all kinds of stuff. Calluses.
Yeah, like rocks right here.
Yeah. All this is messed up right here. All of these.
Well, especially being in the studio. Actually, we'll go ahead and start with Robin. Actually, what's going on as far as with Nonpoint. I know we played Ruthless at the top of the show. We used it as our intro track. So obviously the release of Ruthless coming out. Are we looking at a new album actually coming out, or are we just putting out singles?
Well, we're going to do a series of EPs. We recorded 5 songs last year. Well, one song that we did the Doves cover back in this past February, and that'll be coming out at some point. But it is recorded. We did that whole bracket thing for just fans vote for a cover. But we're going to do a series of EPs. When are they going to come out? I have no idea. But once we get after the third EP, then we're going to put everything on one. So we're probably going to do it's basically, for 3 different titles. I don't know. I'm not going to say the titles right now, but we're going to go. The last one is going to go on the vinyl and possibly a CD. I'm not really sure. I know there's some hardcore people out there that love the CDs still. Maybe we'll print like 1,000 of them. I'm just scared that we're going to be stuck with a bunch of CDs. Nobody's going to buy them, because nobody likes to buy CDs. But we have a 7-inch coming out that has Ruthless on one side and Doves on the When Doves Cry, the Prince cover on the other side. And we have started our brand new record label called 361 Degrees Records. So we are totally independent right now.
I was about to ask, how has that transition been? I know, obviously 2020 sucked, and a lot of stuff got put into perspective for everybody in music.
Yeah.
How has that transition been for you and your band?
Well, we were supposed to release all this stuff last year. We went into the studio last February. We had all these plans, and then COVID hit, and everything got fucked. So we had a year to plan all this stuff. And we were going to do the thing with AEW as well last year. So they said, hey, we're going to do it next year. That's it. And we didn't want to, And to be very honest, I had no idea that Ruthless was going to make such an impact. I had none of us. We knew it was a great song, but out of the gate right now, we're the second most added at rock radio. That's never happened in our career. You know, like
it's a good time right now for you guys.
Yes,
you know,
so it was just really, really, we were all kind of nervous but excited. And, we got up once we did the announcement that we're going independent. We got a lot of comments, a lot of messages. A lot of my peers hit me up and said, dude, that's the best thing. So cool. And right now, basically, we're the bosses. It's 7 people that run the label. It's the guys in the band and Francesca Ludicar, who is our content creator from Canada, and Robb Rivera, who is our COO. He's a chief operation officer. We have titles, so
Yeah.
we have them title. He's a CFO, the COO. He's the vice president. He does everything. Like he set up everything. He's the man of all trades. And so right now, I mean, with the help that group was the label was named after the group 361 All Things Nonpoint, which is a group on Facebook that has like 18,000 members.
Yep.
On there, and it's just a dedicated, pay it forward type of group. It's one of the best groups I've ever seen on Facebook. I mean, there's people that have met online and gotten married because they met in that group. There was actually a marriage this last weekend. Up in Rhode Island. They call it the 361 wedding. So it's been really cool. And we launched some merchandise. It's 361degreesrecords.com. So we have actual label merchandise. We have hoodies and shirts and a mug and some stickers. And then we just released Ruthless merchandise, which that's been going really well. So right now the focus is, continue to work Ruthless at radio, continue to promote it, hopefully land a tour. We have 2 festivals. We got the Rebel Rock in Orlando, and we got the Blue Ridge Rock Fest in Virginia, which I will see Mr. Adam. He will be my drum tech, hopefully. And
always.
Okay. So, so yeah, I mean, it's been the last week and a half. It's been, overwhelming to say the least. I mean, the support and the song, like just hearing it on Octane again, being on all these stations again, it's like shit. We've been out of the radio game for a couple of records, like some read like Chaos and Earthquakes, even though it was a great song.
Number one on WJJO's playlist right now as well.
Yeah, so it's like a lot of overwhelming things. It's like I don't even know how to take it, to be honest. Like, wow, this is so cool. And it's an
I'll
exciting
tell you right
time.
now, though, man, The Return is probably my favorite Nonpoint record.
Oh, cool. Thanks, man.
I love that record, dude. Everything about that record, production, your drums, all that stuff is just like
Johnny K produced that record. He mixed it. He was Disturbed's. He was Disturbed's guy.
Yeah,
The new stuff was done by Fred Archambault, who was he has produced Deftones, Atreyu, Avenged Sevenfold. He's worked with a bunch of different bands. And that guy is so well versed in the technology that we have today that he made a sound. He made like a 22-year band sound current, with all the new production tricks and stuff. And so it's been cool. It's been great. He's been great to work with. He's a great songwriter, great arranger, and he's just a great guy overall, like a really good dude. So yeah, that's what's going on in Nonpoint world right now.
Awesome. Mr. Halligan, I was gonna say we kind of went down as far as what you guys going on, but what is the rest of the year looking for Epizon?
So we'll head back to the studio probably in another month, do a couple more tracks. We use Dexter's Recording Lab up here in Connecticut. That's Nick Belmore's place. He is was the drummer at Toxic Holocaust. He's Dee Snider's current drummer and did all his mixing and mastering for his last 2 albums down at his place. So we use him all the time. Nice. Great dude, and just another, kind of the same deal as Rob. Like, he knows his stuff. He knows when a song is a piece of crap and he makes you work harder and changes it. But very good songwriter, very good input from him, and he always makes us sound better and makes our songs come out, better than we think they're going to do. So we'll do that. And then I don't know, the whole thing with this year being odd and not really knowing what's going on. We're not sure if we're going to do another EP, and we'll wait till the end of the year and feel it out. It's tough, you don't want to spend all this money and do all this work and artwork and all this promotion, and then what are you going to do? Play 6 shows? It's just not worth the investment,
Right.
That D Snyder record is fucking awesome, by the way.
Yeah, the new one is real good too. That last one was my favorite. I did some touring with him, did some drum tech work for them, and I gotta tell you, I've seen a lot of shows. I mean, Rob, your band, and this is no bullshit, I'm not blowing smoke up your ass, but I always tell people, they're like, what's a really good band to see? And I'm like, Nonpoint has never disappointed me anytime you've ever seen them. You guys, it doesn't matter if you were 30 or 40 or whatever, you guys always just brought the game and the level of energy to the top. And I've never seen, like, watching D at 65 years old, I just sat back and was just mesmerized every night at the level of effort and the energy. And, I love live shows, and there's some bands that I love and I see them live and I just go, man, that was a disappointment. Because I'm high energy. I want a show. I want people to draw me in.
And not only is he high energy, that fucker can still sing.
Oh yeah.
His voice is ridiculous. And now we're talking about older guys being energetic. I saw Iron Maiden 2 years ago.
Me too.
And Bruce Dickinson was like still he's like in his 60s. Oh, beat cancer.
Yep.
And fucking can still fucking throw it down. Like but as far as us, man, to me, I think it's important that, we learn from bands like Seven Dust and Snot, and we're like, especially Snot. When I saw Snot, like, we opened up for Snot and Machine Head back in '97, and I remember when they came out, I was like, what the fuck? And then I went outside, I grabbed everybody in the band, I said, you need to stop what you're doing right now, and you guys need to come inside. And when we were all just, and we had a show 2 days later at that same venue, oddly enough, and we converted so many people that night that they came 2 days later and they saw a completely different show from us. And 2 days, we said, that's what we need to be right there. And every time I see the guys from Snot, I always tell them, hey, if it wasn't for you, Nonpoint would not have the show that it has today.
It's a game changer. I mean, it's a game changer.
And I'm proud to say that we're one of those bands that it makes me happy that we have worked on our craft, and we play these festivals and you see members from bands on the side of the stage, and that's when that's when that makes me so happy that people want to see, let's watch this band interact with that crowd. And it's like the same thing when I saw Limp Bizkit at Louder Than Life. They fucking, I mean, say what you want about Limp Bizkit. I don't give a fuck what you say.
No, we stand Limp Bizkit here on this channel.
They crushed it. I mean, if I was any of the bands that played after them, I would have packed my bags and left. Yeah, because they're that kind of band that you do not want to follow Limp Bizkit. You do not want to follow Seven Dust. Like those are the bands like that.
You guys are right there. I mean, you guys are just right at that same place. Like, I mean,
well, I want to keep it humble over here.
No, like, I know that, but like, I'm a no bullshit guy. You know what I mean? Like even you guys, when you're on that Alter Bridge tour, it's like, having you guys open up that's a chore for the band after you every night, because you got to bring your A game.
Yeah, but that tour was great, and Alter Bridge live, they're great.
Fantastic.
Perfect. I mean, they played no tracks.
Nope.
They're a complete live band, and that's what we are too. We do not play the tracks. We never have, and Adam knows for sure.
How do you play click, Rob?
I did for a while, but I don't. I hate it.
He plays with me sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes he'd have the click and he'd be doing like this. Or he hits something, and I would look at it, and I'd stay in time by looking at his hand.
No joke. So the click actually on my phone, I actually had the Metronome Pro, and we were like, okay, cool. what is it on the CD? So I had them all programmed in my phone, and I would actually have a click track in my ear, and he would actually watch me. So I'm just back there doing this the whole time. He's like, okay, cool, I got you. And then about a minute in, he's off.
I don't like to wear in-ears. I like getting
really.
I hate winning.
Wow.
I don't wear them. I used them for a while. They're just not for me. You know, I like being completely live.
Yeah.
Like how it used to be. You know, when I learned to play drums, I played along to my records. You know,
me too.
I didn't play with a metronome, and I have nothing against the bands that do it. If that's your band, that's your business. You do what you want. I don't care. But for me, you know, it's just better. And people ask us like what kind of tracks do you use? I said, dude, we don't use any tracks. There's not even a computer on stage. There never has been.
Yeah.
You know, so I definitely play 100% live. I tried using the click for a while. If we're recording a show, certain songs I'll use a click.
Yeah.
Because drummers, we get excited, you know. Sometimes we'll rush, sometimes we bring it back.
That's the one thing the click has done for me is like help me stay calm, you know. Like it'll keep me controlled, I guess, you know, in a way. Like the energy will still be there, but I won't be like rushing the song super fast.
Yeah, I was also at one point I was using a beat bug, which is a light that I was looking at.
Oh God, that would irritate the shit out of me.
So, sometimes when I use the click, I'll start it and then I'll say, okay, turn it off, because I'm already in that groove.
Yeah, and not to mention you're at the front of the stage and you're on the back of the stage and you're running to get back on your throne.
Yeah, I just can't. I can't deal with. I don't like dealing with the click, and I have in-ears. I use them for the studio, but I don't like to wear them live. Like everybody else in my band wears them, but I will not. No, I will not wear them. That's not for me.
Yeah, he feels tied down. There will be a lot of times. Literally, there's probably videos out there where you'll actually see him go, Roop! Because there's been a couple
I take him. Elias does that too. He takes them off after a while. It's just I don't know. It's just I like hearing the energy. I like hearing shit loud. That's why I'm fucking half deaf. But I like hearing it loud, man. I like hearing shit loud. But I know many drummers use it, and you know and I have used it. They are beneficial. You know, I'm not gonna say they're not.
They definitely help with hearing your band a little bit better. You know.
Yeah, but I've had great monitor dudes, and the only thing that I put in my monitor is kick and 2 guitars. That's it. I don't have anything else.
No vocals.
No, well, since I play sideways, I hear Elias right there.
Yep.
You know, so I don't really need to hear him. But sometimes I'll have him very little, so at least I can hear like a guide. But most of the time I don't have him in there. I don't have any bass in there. I just have guitars. That's it.
Yeah, that's me too. I have the click is the loudest thing in my ears, and then I have guitars, and of course my kit. But in terms of like the band, I usually just have guitars and a tad bit of vocals.
Yeah, I don't have a snare in there. I don't have toms, cymbals, none of that stuff.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Mr. Nate Atkins, what's Divided got going up? I know we talked at the top of the hour. Is like literally 15 minutes before this show down at the Riff House was supposed to start. He gets a phone call. Hey, can you guys close out the show? Sure. Nope.
Yeah.
It was literally talk about a throw and go.
Right. Yeah. And luckily, I had everybody at the house. We were practicing that day, so it worked out really well. And not to mention, I only lived 30 seconds away from there. So as far as Divided goes, we have a couple shows coming up. We have one on June the 4th at West Beach Tavern in Virginia Beach. We have another one, I believe, July the 2nd, which is a metal night out in Richmond, Virginia. And then we have Thrash and Splash, which is August 28th at a water park in Richmond as well.
I was gonna say if the show was at a pool.
yeah. But it's I've never been there, so I don't know exactly what it is. But from what I understand, it's a lake, and then they have like a blob and stuff set up for people to swim and everything. But it's where Gore does Gorebecue.
Oh, Justin Saza. Hey, Justin.
Yep, same spot. But yeah, that one's like 30 bands. Should be like an all-day event and everything, so that should be pretty cool. As far as everything else goes, we're in the process of finishing up our recording It'll have 7 tracks on it. As of right now, we kind of had to stand down a little bit because COVID, and I was going out to sea because I'm active duty Navy. So it's one of those things that like it kind of played a part in us, getting everything mixed and mastered and this, that, and the other. But things are coming together and moving along pretty quickly now. So hopefully we'll have all that done and good to go. I would say hopefully by the end of July, mixed, mastered, and completed. As far as like you guys were talking earlier, I don't know whether or not we're going to do it on a CD. 90% of all of the people that I know now, everything's digital. So you have to like Spotify, you got, iTunes and this, that, and the other. And a couple of the other bands that I've been in, we've had CDs over the last couple of years. And just like Rob was saying, I don't want to get stuck with, 1,000 CDs. And I'm just like, well, what the fuck am I supposed to do now? When they can go on and literally just go on Spotify and follow us or, whatever. But it's something that we can always keep in our back pocket and consider. As far as everything else goes, got a couple designs being done right now from my graphic designers. One of them will be a hoodie design. The other one's going to be another shirt design. And so hopefully we'll have some more merch available as well before we start playing the shows. But yeah, I mean, other than that, it's pretty much about it. Main focus is, trying to get everything open and back up again. There is a strong possibility that we're going to be doing what I would like to call a weekend run and going down south towards Florida. We're supposed to be linking up with somebody down in Miami. I don't have all the details and everything confirmed yet, but there's a good possibility we're going to do that hopefully sometime around the middle of July, maybe the beginning of August. And that would be pretty cool for us because a lot of the members that are in the band now haven't really traveled outside and like really done like any kind of a mini tour or tour itself. And then, the only other thing I can really think of was try to get some more endorsements for the guitarist and the bass player. But I mean, other than that, that's pretty much about it. We're still in the works of getting a lot of things done. We're still fairly new. And we've only been able to play a handful of shows, mainly local, just because of everything that's been going on for the last year for COVID. So it sucks, but at the same time, we're still trying to get our name out there, still trying to, make an imprint and everything like that. And yeah, it's pretty much about it.
I will say I turned, even though I know some of you are a little bit older, but I'm going back to my little nerdy days of playing Super Mario Brothers on Nintendo and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But one of the baddest ass shirts I've ever owned in my life
The
is
Divided
actually
shirt.
from Divided, where you actually have Bowser, you have the Ghost, you have Super Mario Mario here.
Yeah.
Literally one of the baddest ass shirts ever.
Yeah. Bowser's actually ripping Mario in half, I believe, and his guts and his entrails are coming out. Believe it or not, the hoodie design that we're in the process of getting designed right now, same guy who does that artwork. It's actually a friend of mine in Philly, and his name is Corey Swoop, and he's done a lot of artwork for a lot of different deathcore, hardcore, and even metalcore bands styled like that. But it's going to be, you remember the Uggs, when they like come down and crush you in Mario?
Yeah.
It's going to be one of those, except he's squishing all of the characters. It's going to be awesome.
I'm there. You already saved me a medium.
Yeah, I got you. And I have another guy who does traditional black and white drawings. His name is Lay. I believe his first name's Muhammad. He lives in Indonesia, and he actually designed our design for our shorts. And I have, I think, 6 or 7 other designs that he's done for me. And eventually we'll wind up putting those on something, probably get a couple patches made, or maybe even very well some beanies and stuff like that. The one thing that I have been looking into, and I even talked to your singer about this, Adam, Susan, I've been looking to try to get some female garments, but everywhere I look, it's like, man, I can never find these damn things. And I'm not, one who's going to wear this shit. So
Right.
I don't even know where to begin. I mean, it's like, well, where the fuck am I supposed to find a booty shorts at? I don't know where the hell this shit's at. I'm not going to go to Walmart and buy a shitload of booty shorts. Everybody's going to be looking at me like I'm, some kind of fucking creep. But, yeah, I mean, I mean, let's be honest, I go up to the, cash out. I got, 200 pairs of booty shorts. They're going to look at me like, what the hell is wrong with this guy?
Go to self-checkout.
Wait, does that mean you're printing your own stuff? Like you don't just pay a house to do it all for you?
No. I actually have a guy, another local guy. He's actually another drummer. And his name is Mike Gotti. He plays in a band for Vita, and he's also in another band, Mad Hatter. And he has his own printing company. If I'm not mistaken, they do screen printing and another style of printing that I'm not very familiar with. I don't remember what he called it. But yeah, 9 times out of 10, I deal with him, and he had some issues, I guess, from his vendors of trying to find, because we were trying to get like booty shorts, and he just couldn't find them. I don't know if it was because the vendors were out or what the deal was, but I've tried to go online and try to see if I could find some different places to order it, and it's just, right now it is what it is. I've found websites, but a lot of it's from China, and I've ordered things from China before, and their sizing is completely different. So, if I order a small, it might be a small that would fit somebody, but it's not going to be somebody who can wear it over here in the States because their sizes are different. So, there's that. And then on top of that, I'm impatient, and I like to, buy it and I have it, and then I can sell it or, promote it or whatever. And normally if you order something from over there, it could take you a couple months to get it. So, I'd kind of take it one step at a time, and eventually I'll make something happen, and I'll find something or a good connection or whatever. But, like I was,
man, I got someone I could throw at you, but if you ever need one.
Oh, absolutely, dude. I am all for it.
Yeah.
By all means.
Well, I was gonna say, it's like talk to Rob as far as like I know him and Frankie and Elias usually do a lot of different companies soul searching as far as for their merch and stuff. I know before you guys used to go out of Rowboat Creative, but who you actually going through now?
We're still using Rowboat.
Oh, you still using Rowboat?
Yeah, we're still using Rowboat. So
okay, yeah. So there's a company out of Chicago called Rowboat Creative. You can hop on their website.
Okay.
And
really good company, really good people over there.
Hell yeah. Well, if you remember, whenever we break off the chat, just shoot me a message on Facebook. Unfortunately, I am in Facebook jail for the next 6.5 days. So just shoot me a message, and I'll get back to you when I can. But yeah. So, but yeah, man. I mean, other than that, I forgot to mention earlier because, I'm special sometimes, but I'm also endorsed by Scorpion Percussion. That is a stick company based out of Chicago, and great sticks, man. All hickory. They do what they call a venom dip on some of them, which it's like almost like a latex for the part that you would hold. But yeah, they're fantastic. And unfortunately, like Rob, I just recently cracked my hi-hat that I've had for like 15 years.
Oh no.
And, oh man, I was so sad, dude. I've had that thing forever. And I went to go look at Guitar Center, and I walk in there, and there's a guy in there that works there. His name's Panda. He's been there ever since I can remember. And I go in there, and I'm talking to him, and we're looking at different hi-hats and stuff like that. And I found a couple that I really, really liked. And one of them was obviously I stick with All Sabian. And he was telling me about them. And I'm sitting there and I'm, testing them out and messing around. And I'm looking and I'm like, wait a minute. I was like, there's 2 price tags on this. And I kind of looked at him and he's like, yeah. I'm like, shit. Because I guess people like to mix their hi-hats and everything. So now they sell them as one and the bottom, not just the pair. And I'm like, well, fuck my life. There's a $500 hi-hat. And I literally just spent $1,000 on a foot pedal, and I'm like, son of a bitch, dude. Like,
fuck it up, princess. You're a drummer.
Yeah, no shit. No shit. Yeah. As the singer just sits back and watch me put all my equipment in my truck, fuckers. But yeah. But yeah, man. I honestly, with the progress that we've made so far, it's been a blast, dude. Adam's come over after we played a couple shows. We are that band, I don't have like a fan page or anything yet, but if we ever play a show, my house is an open house. My cat's trying to get in the middle of my camera. We're full blown open. Come over, party. We drink. We have bonfires. As a matter of fact, we had a pig cookout yesterday and had probably about 50-ish people over throughout the day. Neighbors, bands, friends, a lot of people in the metal community, just kind of reaching out and supporting everybody. My guitarist is actually my roommate. Yeah.
What's up, guys?
Yeah. But yeah, man. But we have a lot of fun, man. We do a lot of really dumb shit. We act like we're about 15 years old, but other than that, man, for us, we just like to have fun. We do take this very seriously, especially the music. And, as far as everything else goes, that's pretty much it. We just do what we do. We try to, draw as many people and have as good of a time as we can.
Yeah, definitely. If you ever, have Divided coming near you, trust me, the camaraderie just between the band members, and we'll kind of touch on that subject here in a second, but it's like the camaraderie as far as in that band, and then obviously Nonpoint, I've, like I said, been with for 4 years. So it's like, let's go into a little bit on that discussion, and we'll start with Mr. John. Haven't started with you yet, but I know a lot of people are wondering, when did you get started? Inspiration, influences, so on and so forth. I know when we get to Rob, there's going to be one question that somebody always asks. So I'm going to go ahead and go into detail when it's Rob's turn, and then I'll let him take the board after that. But yeah, go ahead. When did you start, Johnny? Who inspired, who influenced you? And
so I grew up in a real small town in Connecticut, and actually my next oldest brother was in this fife and drum corps thing when he was 10 years old. So it was traditional dress up like the the original Settlers and play drums. And he was a drummer. So when I was in 5th grade, I saw that, and I enjoyed it, and I've been played drums all the way up till I was 21 the entire time. So I'm self-taught. I learned by stealing cassettes out of my oldest brother's room and going downstairs and just listening to the Police or listening to bands of that genre and that age. And just, it's why when I got in the studio for the first time, it was easy for me because I was just used to playing to, I didn't know it was a click track, but you're just playing against, with bands the entire time. You're essentially playing on a click. So, so self-taught, just played in bands through high school. And then I put drums down for about 16 years. I got married, did the dad life for a long time. And then when I was about 38, I got bit by the bug again after getting divorced, and I refuse to put it down now. I can't imagine life without it again. I just can't. It's infectious, Oh,
absolutely. Especially when you start out young too, because you're in that mind frame of, it's like, where could this take me? So on and so forth. So it's like when you start younger, you usually have kind of that built up momentum to where it's like, okay, cool. It's like it can go for a very long time. And obviously, Rob can attest to that. He's been playing drums practically his whole life and been in a band that's going on 25 years old, right now. So it definitely is very infectious.
Yeah. And I think for me, I didn't have a clue as a kid. I was total ADHD. I played sports. I was in drama. I was in bands. I mean, I just did everything all the time. So my focus wasn't there. And I think now when I picked up the drums at a later age, it's just been focus. Even for COVID, it was still 5 nights a week playing for 2 hours a night just to work on my chops. It's just, I find it everything, like with the bands, like focus and make sure that we've got a good reputation, and that, you know, when we show up and play with a band like Robb, that, you know what, we don't look like a bunch of jackasses that just crawled off the couch and, you know, like one guy's got shorts and this guy, you know, looks like he just got out of the bathroom. And it's like, no, like it's you know, it's professional. It's you know, we have a saying that actually that dude Nick we recorded with is just be pro, you know, just be pro all the time, so that you get respect, you give respect, you always give the headliner respect, and, you know, whatever they ask you to do, you just do. There's no talk back, there's no whining, there's no nothing. It's a privilege for us all to be able to play every night we can. It doesn't matter whether it's some local bar or a big show with thousands of people. It's just, I appreciate it a lot more now, and I try to get my band members to understand that, you know, we're lucky to have people come out, we're lucky to have fans that come and travel to shows to see us, and they deserve the respect of us working our asses off to put on a good show.
Oh, absolutely. And especially with the last 1.5 to 2 years, you know, that there hasn't been any music. There are millions of people just dying for that live show now. Yeah. So it's definitely, you know, the bands need to come full bore. I mean, granted, there are some bands like Nonpoint that already bring it 200, 300% every night. Yep. And now it's like, now is the time to work. Okay, obviously everything's shut down. Guess what? We have time to work on our game. We have time on, you know, what was not happening for us, you know, before. What can we bring to the table now that's going to be like, okay, we really need to follow these guys, you know, we need to follow this band. We need to listen to this band. We need to help promote this band. We need, you know, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, it's definitely you know, we look at it as a side job. You know, it's a secondary job for all of us, and I think that's the way it has to be in order to be successful. You know, always fun, always have a great time, but there's got to be a business aspect to it, even at our small local level. You know.
Absolutely, I totally agree. And how about you, Nate? You know, when did you start? You know, who inspired you? And
I started playing when I was 10. I went over to a friend's house, and he had a small generic drum kit. And I remember I asked him one day, I was like, "Do you even know how to play that thing?" And he sat down and started playing. And from there, I just fell in love with it. Growing up, one of my biggest influence was Lars, and Vinnie Paul, and then Dave Lombardo. Currently, I would say more of my influence now are like Eric Moore, Jimmy Pino from Signs of the Swarm, a couple others here and there. I don't know all of their names. I just know what bands they're in. But yeah, but I mean, as far as that goes, I got my first drum kit. And after I got that, I probably drove my parents absolutely insane for at least a year, because I'm also self-taught. And, you know, I would sit down and go on the internet and watch different videos of drummers and tutorial videos and stuff like that. And then I would run downstairs in my parents' garage and go start drumming. And, you know, my mom would come and cuss me out and tell me to get off my drum kit, and, you know, because I was being too loud or it's too late. And I did that for years and years and years. And eventually, once I had pretty much the majority of the basics and everything down, when I was in high school, that's when I started getting into bands. I met one of my real good friends I've known, you know, now for probably 20 years in high school, and we started up a band. And you know, I mean, from there, music has just been more of a passion. You know, I've quit playing there for a little while. I would say probably about 4 or 5 years when I first joined the Navy. And that was mainly because we were gone so much, and I didn't have my kit at my house, because both of my kids were living with me currently. And at that time, like, it just wasn't feasible because my kit was too big, took up too much space, and I just couldn't do it. So every once in a blue moon, I'd, you know, go over to my mom and dad's where it was and set it up and jam out for a little bit, so on and so forth. But other than that, you know, that was really when it really, really clicked and really, really got into it. And And that's when it pretty much, became passion and just straight love for it. After all that happened, like I was saying, joined the Navy, quit playing there for a little while, was able to finally get on shore duty and finally picked everything back up. And then, from there, got into another band that was more styled like Iron Maiden. And then, unfortunately, my guitarist in that band had a massive heart attack in his sleep and passed away. And
that fucking sucks.
yeah, it really, really, really did, man. And completely caught us off guard, and we didn't really know what we were going to do. And we actually had a show that following week. We were supposed to open up for Trapped. And then I think 2 or 3 days after that, we played with Anvil and Havoc. And
Awesome.
yeah, Havoc, good stuff. But we still played the shows, and it was more or less we did it because we know that Mike would have wanted us to. At that time, it was more like we know that he loved this so much and he wanted to do it that if it was any one of us, he would have wanted to do the same thing. So right. That just kind of went to show that how dedicated and everything everybody was to the cause of it. And now I'm in a different band, and we doing our thing and everything like that. But primary influences everything were definitely Lars, definitely Vinny, and definitely Dave from Slayer.
Rob, could you imagine having the internet growing up, learning how to drum?
Yeah. So I say I had the internet. I had the internet right around the beginning of 2000, but when it first came out, that wasn't a thing. So I actually had VHS, and I used to watch Terry. I'm gonna butcher his last name so bad.
Bozio.
Yeah, Bozio. Yeah, and I had his VHS of him. And I would watch that thing religiously, and I would mimic some of his paradiddles and some of his grooves and everything that he did, and it was so much fun. And I know it drove my parents absolutely crazy, but that's just what I did, man. At the time I couldn't afford myself to go get drum lessons because I wasn't even able to drive, and my parents were normally fairly busy and stuff, and they still supported and did what they could, but it was one of those situations that I had to do what I had to do.
Nice.
Yep.
Now, Rob, I'm going to go ahead and kind of start things off because he gets this question all the time is, why does Rob play sideways? I'm just going to say one answer. Striper.
I know the answer.
Striper. That's all I'm going to say. Go check it out. YouTube, the band Striper, Stryper, and that just tells it all. Now, Rob, when did you start? Biggest influences besides Striper, obviously.
I'm disappointed you didn't have chains, Rob.
No, I can't. I didn't want to get too crazy with the kid, but I started playing drums, I think around the age of 9. We used to go to this church, and the pastor's daughter was the drummer. So I was my first exposure seeing somebody play drums. I just figured that, wow, that looks really cool. And then my parents at 9 got me this real cheap Sears kit, so it had a snare and a tom, one cymbal and a kick, and so I started kind of there. My first major influence was Neil Peart from Rush. That's who I listened to All the World's a Stage from Rush when I was like 9 years old, and I heard the drum solo, and I was like, man, this sounds really cool. And I just got so enamored with his style. But now, mind you, my style of playing has nothing to do with Neil Peart, but that was like my first major influence. There's little things that I do on the hi-hat. There's little things that I take from him that I use, but I don't play anything close to what I've never been able to play anything. I can't even cover a Rush song. These days I would not even be able to play a Rush song.
I can only do Spirit of the Radio. That's it.
Yeah. So, but I other influences. Bill Ward from Black Sabbath, John Bonham is a big influence. from Led Zeppelin, Danny Schuler from Biohazard, Vinny from Pantera, Dave Lombardo, Tom Hunting from Exodus. I like him a lot. My style is very mixed between thrash, hardcore, and groove. So I kind of like mix and metal. I kind of mix all that and I like take something from everybody. I steal from Stuart Copeland. I steal from fucking Mike Borden, from Igor Cavalera, formerly from Sepultura, Jamie Miller from Snot, Shannon Larkin. When he was in Rat Child America, he's now in Godsmack. So I've taken a little bit of everything and kind of put it in this blender, and tried it like when there's a part when I do my China style stuff, that's very Biohazard. He did that a lot when there are grooves. He did a lot of that China, and it also sounds kind of tribal-ish in a way. So, and when I do all the Tom stuff, that's a Sepultura thing. I love tribal stuff. I love the second drummer that was in the band, Puya. He also played Sideways, and I enjoyed that. And as far as drummer, there's so many. There's so many that I love. I don't have it's hard to pick a top 10 or top 20 because there's just too many that are good. There's way too many drummers out there that are good. But number one is Neil Peart, and honestly, another major influence to me was Lars, and those first 4 Metallica records, man. That guy, you could talk all the shit you want about him. He gets so much flack, but the stuff that he does, no one does. He's like, he did the best quote. I may not be the best drummer, but I'm the best drummer for James Hetfield's guitar.
Correct.
And and that's like the best
quote.
That's
the whole thing.
That's the best quote that I've ever heard. And those first 4 records, he was doing stuff, a lot of the weird accents, and the stuff that he did was nothing that I'd ever heard before. And he took that all from that new wave of British heavy metal sound and brought it into the thrash. Like, I love also the original drummer from Motorhead. I love Scott Rockenfield from Queensryche.
Oh, yeah.
Alex Van Halen.
Yeah.
There's so many, dude.
Scott Travis
when he was in Razor X and Judas Priest. Fucking Charlie Benante. There's so many fucking drummers that are amazing. It's hard.
And for so many different reasons, too.
Chad Smith from the Chili Peppers.
Fucking groove. Groove.
Mackie Jason from the Cro-Mags, the drummer from the Bad Brains. I can't think of his name right now. There's a lot. There's a lot of drummers that I respect. I love. Morgan, Seven Dust. There's so many, man. There's so many that I, direct influences for me, though, as far as that's influenced my playing. It's a mixture between John Bonham, Neil Peart, Dave Lombardo, Lars, and maybe Stuart Copeland, or don't know, Danny Schuler. There's also a great drummer that he passed away. He was in a band called Only Living Witness out of Massachusetts, and his name was Eric Stevenson, and he was the master of the flam. He did the flams I'd never heard anybody do those flam hits better than him. He was like Black Sabbath, but on steroids. Like that. His playing was like his playing. He was so just precise, and and I to me, I am a lover of groove.
Yeah.
Phil Rudd from AC/DC. I'm sorry, he's like any drummer that asks me that when they want to begin. I said, listen to Highway to Hell and Back in Black. Play those 2 records until you know them fuckers backwards. So they're so easy. I said, yes, they're easy, but this is going to perfect your timing.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I always tell drummers, you have to learn your timing. And I have a quote: Fills bring the thrills, but grooves pay the bills.
Yeah.
And
that's right.
And that's what I live by. Like, I don't do a lot of fills. I'm not the crazy technical dude, but I'll make you shake your ass like no one else, Right. So I like seeing people have a good time. I like having fun playing drums. Like, we have a song the last record called Milestone that is just a simple groove straight ahead. There's a couple fills, but it's just completely laying down that beat. And I'm like, man, I can hit this kid as hard as I fucking can because I'm just laying the beat. That's at a 140 BPM. It's like my wheelhouse. That's where I like to live. And the 140 to 170 is like my perfect wheelhouse to play. But yeah, man, I've been playing drums since I was 9, but I started seriously when I was 16. I joined my first band. I was actually a guitar player. My first instrument was actually guitar.
Nice.
And I still play guitar to this day. I play bass in bands. I play guitar in bands, but drums kind of outbid everything else. And and I'm loving it, man. I love playing drums. I mean, it's a great release.
Yeah.
I can go to our storage unit and I have the kit set up over there. I just go there and play whenever I want, hit it as hard as I want. Nobody's bothering me, so it's pretty cool, man. Yeah.
Rob, I didn't know you were a Mass guy. Did you grow up there, or were you from the South?
No. I was born in New York. I was born in Manhattan. I'm the Bronx. Sorry. I lived in Massachusetts.
Yankees.
Let me see. You got the tattoo right there. Yeah, I'm a Yankees fan. I lived in Boston for like a year.
Oh, okay.
I lived in this area called Framingham.
Oh, yeah.
And I went to the Channel. There's a place called the Channel there where I saw a bunch of bands. And I'll tell you what, my experience in Boston was absolutely amazing. I will never change the time that I lived there. I saw so many shows. I learned a lot about local scenes.
Yep.
The local scene there was so fucking strong. I don't know how it is now.
It's still good. That's my scene. That's my area, man.
Is that where you live?
I'm in Connecticut, but it's we do Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts. It's all one scene because you got to just support everybody and play around.
Did you ever play how old are you?
I'm 49, so we're the same age almost.
Okay. Did you ever play a place called Club Babyhead?
No, I've never played there.
Okay, so I went to a bunch of shows. I went to like the Derringers in Brockton, Mass. I went to Green Street Station in Jamaica Plains, the Channel and the Orpheum. I saw shows at the Orpheum. I love the Boston, man. I saw so many great local bands in Massachusetts. I only lived there for like I think 14 months, but it was some of the best. It was an incredible experience, and when I went back there, it was great, man. Even though I'm a New York Yankees fan, I mean, I love the city of Boston. I really do.
Yeah.
I fucking love playing there. The fans are awesome, and I can't wait to go back, man. I love playing in Hartford, Connecticut too, the Webster.
Yeah, always at the Webster, baby.
Yeah, I love the Webster.
I will say, I believe it was the Hell Yeah tour. We actually played the House of Blues right behind the Green Monster, where actually Midway Park is at.
Yep, it's right across the street.
Yep.
Yeah, that place used to be called the Avalon.
Yes.
Back in the day, and Axis was next to it, and we played Axis when Nonpoint first started touring. We played Axis there, but yeah, I saw Extreme there at the Avalon.
Holy crap!
That was a great that venue was cool, and they turned the Avalon into the House of Blues.
Yeah, that's when you guys were doing that tour. You guys were doing shows with them and then shows on your own in between on the days off.
Yeah, we never stopped. We played that House of Blues twice, I think. No, 3 times. Played with Megadeth, and we played it with Alter Bridge, and then we played
Hell Yeah.
And Hell Yeah. So I can say I've played every House of Blues now in the country. That was the 2 last ones we needed was Houston and Dallas, and we got them done. So
I've only gotten to play Cleveland, Orlando, and that's it.
Orlando is my favorite House of Blues.
That's the first show I saw Nonpoint at. It was Nonpoint 7 Dust 2011.
Oh yeah, I remember.
That was the first time I saw.
I remember. It was a Sunday too. Don't ask me why. Don't ask me how I remember that, but I do.
I don't remember that, but I remember that was where I saw you. You had, I think you had a red kit. I think you had that red.
Yeah,
kit.
I had the Pearl reference. Yeah.
Yeah.
We did 3 shows with 7 Dust. We did one in Jacksonville, Tampa, and then we went to Orlando.
Yeah.
That's some good shows. That Orlando show was fucking awesome.
Yeah, it was,
It was
pretty cool.
sold out,
Pretty
packed. It was
fucking
great.
awesome.
I love playing. I just love playing that Orlando. I love playing that venue. The staff, everybody's there, super cool.
Yeah,
we know everybody there. I mean, we're treated so well when we go there. You know, it's a fucking nice place to play, and the best house of blues in the country.
I agree with that. I agree.
The best backstage, awesome dressing room. Well, all the house of blues they're great.
Not to mention the Pirates of the Caribbean background as soon as you walk out of the House of Blues.
Pretty damn cool. Yeah.
Okay, this question always comes up, so we pretty much ask it every episode, and we'll start with Rob. If there is one band, or several bands or whatnot that you have never played with before, who would it be?
Well, we've played with Deftones before, but I would love to tour with the Deftones.
That would be a good bill.
I'd love to tour with Korn. We've never toured with Korn, crazy enough.
Never?
We've played shows with them, just radio festivals, but we've never actually done a tour. Metallica, we've never played with Metallica. That would definitely be another one. But I know we've played with pretty much everybody, man. We play with everybody out there. It's not. I mean, I don't know who. I'm trying to think. There's one band. Yeah, one band we've never played with definitely is Metallica. But I'd love to tour with Anthrax. That'd be kind of cool. You know,
that'd be dope.
I don't know. I mean, there's plenty of bands right now. I mean, I'd love to tour with anybody at this point right now. I don't care who it is. I'll tour with a country band as long as I can play a show. Yeah, definitely. I think the band I've always wanted to tour with has been Deftones and Korn.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, we've toured with Slipknot, so I can't say Slipknot.
I'm so jealous.
Yeah.
Miss Nate Atkins, how about you?
So to add to that question, would that be in reference to Divided currently, or just in general bands that we played or I have played with before?
Just in general. Like if Divided right now was to look at their email and the band of all time that you ever wanted to tour with, dead or alive, I should say, or I should say active or non-active. It can be either.
All right. My top one for myself, Killswitch Engage.
Okay.
Absolutely Killswitch. Because I grew up listening to them, man, and that would just be so awesome. As far as other bands and everything go, I'd love to go on tour with Seven Dust. Super, super huge fan of Seven Dust. I would also love to go on tour with Slayer. I mean, that'd be awesome. Yeah. As far as everything else goes, in reference to people that I've opened up for, it's been a little bit more on the heavier side. Like back in, I think it was 2006 or 7, we opened up for Suicide Silence when Mitch was still alive, and that was right before they became super, super huge.
Awesome.
And small little tiny bar, probably one of the craziest shows that I've ever been to in my life. But yeah, so that was with Suicide Silence, Sworn Enemy, and Diecast. We played
Diecast.
Yeah, no shit. Played a death fest in Norfolk, and that had Dying Fetus, Vital Remains, couple other bands. I don't remember who else was on there. There was like 10 or 15 bands on it. And then one of my personal favorites, unfortunately, which I don't know if they're doing anything anymore or currently, I'd love to go on tour with Power Trip. Unfortunately, their singer
passed away.
Yeah, the singer just passed away, which super, super sad, man. Sucks. But dude, they're super, super good live. And I've seen them twice before all that happened. And every show was just absolutely amazing. As far as older bands, I'd love to go on tour with Iron Maiden. That'd be fantastic. I think it'd be a shitload of fun.
I think everybody would love to tour with Maiden, man. Everybody would just...
Oh, yeah. But, I mean, it's there's so many different different bands and everything that I'd love to, go on tour and everything with. But off the top of my head, that's pretty much about all I can think of right now, honestly.
Nice. And
Yeah.
how about you, John?
I've been pretty fortunate in the last 6 years to check off a bunch. I mean, I think my first show for a national was actually with Nonpoint, which I can remember to this day because it was the first time I met Rob. And I think we've done 4 or 5 shows with those guys. But I mean, I've been fortunate to do like Papa Roach and Seven Dust and bands like that for the last bunch of years. I think for me it'd probably be Korn. I'm a huge Korn fan. I'm a huge Ray Lazier fan, and I've been fortunate enough to stand 15 feet from that guy and watch him play a show, and it's just mesmerizing. It's a different level of playmanship and hard hitting, and he's putting on a show, but he's never missing a beat, and he's always right where he should be. So I really enjoyed that. That'd be probably top of the bucket list for me.
I will say the first time that I actually ever saw Ray, like I didn't really know Peoria Civic Center, they came through, they were on their tour, the one that had all the TVs on stage.
Oh, that was early. Yeah, that was early. Yeah.
That was like 2016, 17 maybe.
Yeah, like Family Values or something, right?
Yeah, I can't remember who was all. It was just almost right when Ray joined the band. But it was like I saw the guy playing, but it was from a distance. And I was like, oh my God, like I'm watching this dude. I was like, he plays just like RJ Hale. Like I saw the big ass, like 24-inch, 22-inch, like gong tom that he has. I'm like, wait, I was like, RJ does that. And then the way that the rack was built and everything, I'm just like, is that RJ? Because like I said, I didn't know who Ray was before at the time. I'm like, dude, this dude plays exactly like RJ. Like
the opposite, though. It's the opposite. RJ plays like him.
Exactly. I didn't know that until like I started doing some research. I was just like, so for a second there, when I saw that show, I was like, did RJ join Korn? I'm like, because this like the way he's doing his stick tricks, the way he's jumping up on his throne and, just doing all this weird shit. I'm like, damn, I was like, okay, RJ, okay. And then, later that evening, I was like, okay, who's Korn's new drummer? I'm like, holy shit, it's not RJ. So then,
what year did you say this was?
I think it was like 17.
No, that's got to be, he's been with the band 11 years now, I think.
2009 was when he joined Korn.
Yeah.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah, but I that's the one thing.
Show how long have I seen Korn.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I love the most is just sitting side stage or sitting close and just watching drummers play. Guys like Rob. I love drummers that just put their nuts out there every night and just, I have a lot of respect for a lot of drummers, but as a drummer that just plays from inside out, like I see some drummers and I'm bored after 5 minutes and I'm like, God, you're phenomenal, but I don't want to listen to a tape. I want to see what you feel inside coming through your hands and coming through your feet.
Yep. It's funny you say that about Ray Lazier. And I got a story too that you were saying that you were sitting next to him, watching him play or whatever.
Yeah.
The one story. Okay, I was in Australia. We were touring in Australia, and my buddy Norm Costa was Dave Lombardo's. He was Dave Lombardo's drum tech.
Mm-hmm.
So Slayer was playing on one of the side stages. So I got to sit behind Dave Lombardo the entire set, and I watched him. He was literally 5 feet away from me. And I'm watching this motherfucker. I'm like, oh my God, this guy's in his 50s.
Yeah, killing it.
And just with jeans on. I can't play with jeans. He had jeans on and he's destroying it. And then speaking of Ray, we were on tour with Disturbed and Stone Sour and Flyleaf in 2006. Yep. So we did a radio show. Flyleaf. So there was that band called Army of Anyone.
Yeah, him and the DeLeo brothers.
The DeLeo brothers and Richard Patrick from Filter.
Yeah.
That's when I first saw him play. And I'm on side stage. And I'm like, who the fuck is this dude? Yeah. And I went back to the bus. I said, you guys need to see this fucking drummer, man.
Hit like a gorilla.
and he was fucking destroying it. So when he joined Korn, I was very excited because he brings a real powerful energy to that band.
Yeah.
And the passion. That's what I love is the passion.
And he's a super fucking nice guy.
Oh, the nicest.
Super nice guy.
He's the last guy on my list that I haven't met yet. I need to meet that guy. I would love to have a conversation with him.
Nice. Well, we are winding down on about 2 hours. First of all, I do want to say thank you, gentlemen, for taking time out of your day for joining us for this episode. Thank you. It's truly an honor. We'll definitely have you back on the future. Obviously, with the world opening back up, things are about to get crazy in all of our lives. Things are about to get hectic. A lot more shows, a lot more tours and stuff. So we'll definitely have you back on. So, but make sure, check out Divided Facebook page, Epizon. Of course, a lot of you follow Nonpoint, but make sure you see what they got coming up. There's going to be shows coming to your area. Nonpoint is Rebel Rock, and then what's the other?
Blue Ridge Rock Festival, which is going to be insane.
So, and I know how Nonpoint usually works. Of course, working for them is like they usually like to wind a tour around it. So who knows? Maybe there will be a tour in September that'll be coming up. So
we're working on that. It just said there's so much traffic right now because
every band's coming out at the same time.
Everybody that canceled last year, all those packages are coming down. So it's going to be hard to put something together.
Rob, you got your sea legs on, Rob, for January?
Sea leg? What do you mean?
Where don't you always play on a boat usually in January?
I have not. They're actually announcing that tomorrow. I have not heard
tomorrow.
Anything. Yeah, I have not heard anything. So I don't know.
So we'll see. Grab their Facebook page, grab their Instagrams, go check them out on social media, and then obviously, download their music when available. And stay tuned for next week, Wednesday.
Yeah,
noon.
Go on next week.
Noon Eastern Time, 11 Central Time. We will announce our next guest for next week. So until then, enjoy the rest of your evening. Have a great week, and see you guys soon.
Take care, man. Thank you.
Appreciate you guys.
Bye.